Welcome back. Now, this morning we find out why you should never underestimate the power of your pelvic floor and why keeping it strong is so important. Joining me now to discuss is physiotherapist Aoife Harvey. Hello, Aoife. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Maren.
Lovely when you bring in props, you bring in straws. I mean, what's going to happen here? OK, let's go first of all. What is the pelvic floor?
So they are muscles that are the base of the body of men and women, and they attach from your pubic bone right back to your tailbone. And they basically are like a hammock of muscle that supports all the organs above it, which is your bladder, your bowel, and for women, their vaginas.
OK, so incredibly important.
Really important.
Keeping everything in. I suppose when it comes to Kegels, the pelvic floor, you really only hear... I first heard about it was my mates when they were pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's talked about an awful lot.
Yeah.
Why is it talked about so much then?
Because when you're pregnant, obviously there's a bump and a baby inside, and it puts a lot of pressure down on the muscles. So for the first time in a woman's life, that's when she might start to struggle with bladder leaks for the most part. And then after she has her baby, especially if it's a vaginal birth, the risk or the rate of bladder leaks is 1 in 3 women, which is a lot. And that increases as we age and get past menopause to 2 in 3 women. So 60% of women over the age of 50, 60 will have bladder leaks. So working on their pelvic floor muscles is really important.
OK, so because that just keeps everything in, is that what it is?
Well, it strengthens and supports the bladder and the little sphincters of your back passage and your bladder to keep these little valves that kind of hold in your wee and hold in your poo really strong.
OK, so they're all down here?
All down there.
And but this is important for men as well?
It is important, but less important, because, you know, women usually get a rougher ride with things like this, which is just the truth. So men, it's about 3 to 10% of men, and usually only if they've prostate problems. So especially if their prostate removed, if they've had prostate cancer, then they can have bladder leaks because of the operation. So then we would need, as physios, to help men with their bladder incontinence, but it's, again, a much lesser number. So that's why we talk a lot about it to women, because it happens more often.
Because it happens more often, I suppose. It's the sort of thing, you know, the famous story of Kate Winslet being like, I cannot go on a trampoline anymore because everything is just going to come out of me. So that is a thing. So the pelvic floor and Kegels, you say Kegels, right? Yeah. Is that the same with the Kegel muscles? Yeah, like Kegel was a guy who invented pelvic floor exercises. Yes. So I like to say pelvic floor exercises or pelvic floor muscle training is what we say in the research. But Kegels, I suppose, is the fashionable way of saying it. Because it's always been said, you know, it's kind of like, I could be doing them right now and you wouldn't have a clue. Yeah. And well, that's what's hard. You can't see them. So when we are teaching people how to do them as physios, we have our hands inside their vagina or inside their back passage to check they're doing them properly. Because the brain is like, how do I know I'm doing something if I can't see it move, if I can't feel it? Like, how do I know if I'm doing it right? So they come to us to teach them how to do it. That is intimate. You've got to be ready. Intimate. That is a very intimate physio session. Yeah. That's definitely it. So when you're do you think that people should start these as early as possible? No, just during their first pregnancy. That's what the research says. It's not like 19-year-olds and it's all over TikTok now, so young girls are doing them. Young girls tend to have really tight pelvic floor muscles, so they'll find intercourse painful. This is more for women who are pregnant, after pregnancy, and definitely after menopause. Definitely after menopause. Yeah. Why is it so important then? Because everything gets weaker when we lose muscle mass during our menopause. All the muscles in our body get weaker. Bladder issues become way more common, and pelvic floor exercises are even more important then. OK, so Aoife has all this. I suppose the most important thing is that we have to do these pelvic floor exercises. And they're not just for us, as we mentioned. So, Alan and Tommy, are you ready to exercise your pelvic floor? And Anne is here. It's going to be part of her new show. New show? I'm telling you. St. Bridget's Hall in Tubbercurry. They'll be all on the stage. Ireland PT, is it?
So you've got the straw for Alan, so where's that going?
No. The straw is for Anne.
I'm getting the intimate examination, am I?
We're so well at it. OK, so we're going to start with Anne. So we've got different cues, right? And these are all evidence-based, so I know you'll probably laugh at them, but they really are the research. When our brain tells our body to do something, does it do it properly? So for women and for Anne, we're going to think, Anne, that you have a milkshake on the other end of this straw and you're sucking that milkshake up your vagina. OK? So in your brain, think about that straw in your vagina, Anne, and you want to suck up the milkshake and hold it there for 10 seconds. We're going to do this all together so you don't get tired. OK. For Alan, we're going to think more of bowel incontinence. So we're going to think about you squeezing your bum, squeezing your back passage like you're trying to hold in a fart, a really strong fart, and you don't want to let it out. And then for Tommy, who has bladder leaks, Tommy, I want you to think about shortening your penis. Okay, so just imagine the penis is getting shorter and you're going to hold it for 10, right? So we're all going to do it together for 10. Ready? Everyone in their positions?
Right.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and squeeze, shorten, suck, and keep holding for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let go.
Oh.
Okay. Now, did everyone hold their breath? Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah. So were we meant to hold our
So
breath?
you're not supposed to hold your breath because when you leak, it's going to be during a cough, a sneeze, a laugh. So what's happening in your breath and your chest is really important. So this time we're going to breathe in together through your nose. Breathe in, big deep breath. Now shorten your penis, squeeze your bum, suck your vagina. And breathe out slowly through your mouth and keep squeezing. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep breathing, keep squeezing. And 3, 2, 1, let go. Okay, so you're going to do that 10 times. We're not going to do that now, right?
To my right. I can't even
I can't believe how much you're keeping it together, lads. Right?
Okay, can we do our fast ones because they're going to kick me off now in a second, right? It's fast, right?
Like so quicker versions of what
so
we're
you're
doing.
supposed to do 10 slow, okay, at home,
right.
and then 10 fast, right? So we're just going to do the 10 fast ones together.
Okay.
In the middle of each one, you've got to let go fully. So when you let go, think your bum and your back passage just flopping. Right? Or your penis just lengthening.
You're doing great,
okay?
Anne. You're doing great.
3, 2, 1, go. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. I don't think Tommy's doing it. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. 3 more. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Last one. Squeeze, relax. Well done, everyone.
There you go.
Well
There you
done.
go. Well
3
done.
times a day. 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
What's that?
You look so relaxed there. Genuinely, you did.
It's kind of just engaged in your core, isn't it? And yeah. Well, you can do it. You don't have to look like you're squeezing up.
No,
you
no.
know?
You were going like this earlier. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I was only messing.
He was only messing.
And well done. Well done.
And I didn't wet myself.
I tell you, that we have to incorporate this into the show now. We really will.
That's all good. That's great, Aoife.
yeah.
Seriously, thanks so much for all of that.
Welcome.
So
Aoife,
important
thank
that
you.
everyone should be doing it.
I'll keep that
after
straw
first
for
shot.
later on.
And anyone out there, go and see a pelvic health physio if you have any issues with your bladders.
Lovely. Absolutely. Aoife Harvey, who's a physiotherapist, which
Thank
is
you
what
so
you
much for that.
specialise in.
And yeah.
That's there. Listen, thank you so much for all of those.
What she does is very intimate, isn't it?
Yes, as she
Like
says,
what you
puts
said,
her
wow.
hands inside and does all of those
Yeah,
things. Thank you
wow.
so much for all of those.
Never
we hope you
knew
got
that.
something, learned something from that today. Now,
Right, coming up on tomorrow's show, acclaimed sports writer Eamon Sweeney's front of the paper this morning. He's going to talk about his new book and the place of GA in Irish society.
we're going to have the latest motoring news, and the Skin Nerd shares her secrets to achieving a summer glow.
Plus, we have prawn pesto pasta on the menu and summer styles on the catwalk. So we'll be back here from 7, but we have some texts for us.
We do
Lots
indeed.
of texts coming in on different topics that we
About
had this morning.
parenting, are there more texts on parenting and bad parenting?
Yes,
not bad
or
parenting.
following through
Following
on your
through,
threats.
yeah.
Una says, when I used to babysit my niece Grace, if she was throwing a tantrum, I'd ask cranky Grace to leave the room and could she bring back nice Grace? She'd come back after a few minutes and she would be the best little girl. It worked every single time.
Oh, that's good. Go and have a little word with yourself, yeah.
And
like it.
nice Grace
That's
to
what
come
you
back.
do to me. And cranky Maureen.
She doesn't come back.
Doesn't come back. There's no nice Maureen.
All Pauline says, always use your child's currency. I was forever telling my teenager I would remove her privacy if she didn't clean her room. So one day, when she was gone to school, I lifted off her bedroom door and locked it away in another room. The tantrum lasted about 10 seconds when she realised I better do what I'm told. And then she got her door back. She took the door off. Took the door off her room.
I would love this. We have parents throwing doors out. We have other parents throwing mobile phones out. Taking away PlayStations. I tell you what, good parenting.
Have you gotten some ideas?
But I
Have you?
have the doors coming off.
So the child now cleans her room every day because if the room isn't clean, she has no door.
Wow, that is incredible.
Any more parenting hacks, send them in to us. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow's
Have a
show.
great
Back
day.
from
Bye, guys.
7.
Thanks a million.